Public meeting will be explained by the city attorney shortly. Procedures for the swearing in of parties and for the planning and zoning and quasi-judicial items will be explained by the city clerk. The members of the City Commission appearing for this meeting are Alex Diaz del Portilla, Joe Carollo, Manolo Reyes, Jeffrey Watson, and me, Ken Russell, your vice chair. Also appearing are City Manager Art Noriega, City Attorney Victoria Mendez, and City Clerk Todd Hannon. The meeting will be opened with a prayer by Commissioner Reyes, as well as the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Diaz de la Portilla. Please stand.
In the name of the Father, Holy Son, Holy Ghost, amen. Thanks, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to serve. Please guide us so we can make the decision that will help our city, particularly those that need it the most. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Madam City Attorney, please state the procedures to be followed during this meeting.
Thank you. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the city clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available at the city clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the appropriate disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold such action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the city commissioners that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the city commission's discretion. In accordance to Section 233F and G of the City Code, the agenda, the material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the city clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard through the chair upon registering pursuant to a published notice for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Members of the public may call 305-250-5454 to speak directly to the City Commission on agenda items to be heard at this meeting. Public comment will begin approximately at 10 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Members of the public wishing to address the body may also do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form will be distributed to the elected officials and the city administration throughout the meeting so that the elected officials can consider the comments prior to making any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials up until the chairperson closes the public comment. All comments submitted will be included as part of the public record for this meeting and will be considered by the City Commission prior to any action taken. Public comment may also be provided live at City Hall located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to all COVID regulations, rules, and procedures. Speakers who appear in person will be subject to screening for symptoms of COVID-19. Any persons exhibiting those symptoms will not be permitted into City Hall. All interested persons are required to abide by all state, county, and local emergency orders and are urged to practice social distancing. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state his or her name, his or her address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. Section 286.0114 Florida statutes specifically authorizes the city to prescribe procedures or forms for an individual to use in order to inform the board or commission of a desire to be heard, to indicate his or her support, opposition, or neutrality on a proposition. The city, through its multiple comment options, has provided different methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at City Commission meeting. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity in time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing to appeal any decision made by the city commission for any matter considered at this meeting may need a verbatim record of the item. A video of this meeting may be requested at the Office of Communications or viewed online at www.miamigov.com. PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance as temporarily modified pursuant to emergency ordinance numbers 13903 and 13914. Pursuant to those emergency ordinances, parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives or any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee, may either be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the city clerk, or may appear virtually and make arrangements to be sworn in by oath or affirmation in person at their location by an individual qualified to perform such duty. Pursuant to Emergency Ordinance Number 13903, members of the general public who are not parties to the action pending before the City Commission are not required to be sworn in by oath or affirmation. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications pursuant to Florida Statute 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. For applications requiring City Commission approval, the applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and the City Code, providing the appellant shall present first. The appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendations they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, miamigov.com TV, the city's Facebook page, facebook.com, City of Miami Gov, the city's Periscope channel on twitter.com, City of Miami, and the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77 for the City of Miami. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, if you could read the procedures for the swearing in.
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who are providing testimony to be sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the city clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and/or quasi-judicial items. Pursuant to Emergency Ordinance Number 13903, those individuals appearing remotely may be sworn in at their location by an individual qualified to administer the oath. After you are sworn in, please be sure to complete, sign, and notarize the affidavit provided to you by the City Attorney's Office. Each individual who will provide testimony must be sworn in and execute an affidavit. Please email a scanned version of the signed affidavit to the city clerk at thannon@miamigov.com prior to providing testimony on the planning and zoning item and or quasi-judicial item. The affiant shall be included in the record for the relevant item for which you will be providing testimony. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules and procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Chair, may I administer the oath to speakers that will be here to provide testimony on planning and zoning items?
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, if you're speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's meeting is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Before we start the proclamation items, I'm going to add one item to the proclamations, and to do that, we need to vote. So first, I'd like to ask if there are any mayoral vetoes.
Chair, there are no mayoral vetoes.
Thank you. Commissioner Reyes, would you like to read PI1? I'll call it PI1, your pocket item. Into
Yes,
the record.
this is a resolution of the Miami City Commission proclaiming solidarity with the Patria y Vida movement to ensure that the whisper of freedom in Cuba emerges from everywhere, and further proclaims March 6, 2021 as the day of Patria y Vida in solidarity with the just demand for freedom of the Cuban people. We're gonna play the
The song,
The song.
El Canción. Is IT here to help us with Patria Vida?
Patria y Vida. This is, I want you guys,
Good morning, Commissioner. While we're setting that up, I will open the floor for public comment. If there's anyone here who would like to speak on the Patria y Vida proclamation, now's your chance to please approach the lectern over here. Or if there's anyone on the phones who would like to speak on this item. Only for this item.
Y eres tú mi canto de sirena, porque con tu voz se van mis penas. Y este sentimiento ya es tan viejo, tú me dueles tanto aunque estés lejos. Hoy yo te invito a caminar por mis solares, para demostrarte de que sirven tus ideales. Somos humanos aunque no pensemos iguales, no nos tratemos ni dañemos como animales. Esta es mi forma de decírtelo. Llora mi pueblo y siento yo su voz. Tu 5-9, yo doble 2, 60 años, trancado al dominó. Bombo y platillo a los 500 de La Habana. Mientras en casa las cazuelas ya no tienen jama. Que celebramos si la gente anda deprisa, cambiando Che Guevara, llama al tipo la divisa. Todo ha cambiado, ya no es lo mismo. Entre tú y yo hay un abismo. Publicidad, un paraíso, un varadero, mientras las madres lloran por sus hijos que se fueron. Tu 5-9, yo doble 2. Ya se acabó. 60 años, trancado dominó, mira. Ya se acabó. Tu 5-9, yo doble 2. Ya se acabó. 60 años, trancado dominó.
Somos artistas, somos sensibilidad. La historia verdadera, no la mal contada. Somos la dignidad de un pueblo entero pisoteada. A punta de pistola y de palabras que aún son nada.
No más mentiras. Mi pueblo pide libertad, no más doctrina. Ya no gritemos patria o muerte, sino patria y vida. Y empezar a construir lo que soñamos, lo que destruyeron con su mano.
Que no siga corriendo la sangre por querer pensar diferente. ¿Quién le dijo que tú me gustas? Si mi Cuba es de toda mi gente.
Se acabó,
Ya se venció tu tiempo, se rompió el silencio.
ya se acabó,
Ya se acabó la risa y el llanto ya está corriendo.
se acabó,
Y no tenemos miedo, se acabó el engaño.
ya se acabó.
Ay, esos 62 haciendo
Aquí
daño.
vivimos con la incertidumbre del pasado plantado, 15 amigos puestos, listos para morirnos, izamos la bandera todavía, la represión del régimen al día. Anameli Ramos firme con su poesía, Omar Arributiolo dándonos aliento de vida, rompieron nuestra puerta, violaron nuestro templo y el mundo está consciente de que el movimiento San Isidro continúa
Seguimos
puesto.
en la misma, la seguridad metiendo prisma. Esas cosas a mí como me indignan. Se acabó el enigma de esa tu revolución maligna. Soy funky style, aquí tienen mi firma. Y ustedes están sobrando, ya no les queda nada, ya se van bajando. El pueblo se cansó de estar aguantando. Un nuevo amanecer estamos esperando.
Se acabó,
Tu 5-9, yo doble 2.
ya se acabó,
60 años, trancado dominó, mira.
se acabó. 5-9, yo doble 2, ya se acabó. 60 años trancando mi voz.
60 años, trancado dominó.
fantastic. Mr. Chair,
You recognize.
if I can explain to those people that don't understand what's going on. Over 60 years ago, Cuba was taken over a Marxist government that has oppressed like no other country in Latin America has seen, and probably only in countries like China and the repression of China, Cambodia, and all those places that they have been really oppressed. And this is a group of people, their slogan was always, while they were building this communist country, it was Patria o Muerte, fatherland or death. And we have now, after 60 years, we have this youth movement of young Cuban artists that they have formed a movement called San Isidro. And these singers, that most of them are in Cuba. And they have I would say the guts to be in opposition. And they are singing this song to let everybody know that there's not going to be more homeland of death, that they demand homeland and life. And life means freedom. Life means the right of every human being to be able to move wherever they want to move, to work where they have to work, or to stuff that they have, and the freedom of speech. And this is what this song is proclaiming. And this song, what it's doing is it has this message that is permeating the whole island. And I can tell you that the regime, it is trembling because they know about two things, violence and propaganda. And this is bad propaganda to them. So I'm real proud of these people. And therefore, I want to present this legislation so we can proclaim today as the day of Patria y Vida.
Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Reyes, seconded by Commissioner Carollo. Would anyone else like to co-sponsor?
Yeah, I would.
I'll co-sponsor it too.
Unanimous co-sponsorship
Of course.
of those on the dais, please. Mr. Clerk. Commissioner Carollo, you're recognized.
Thank you. Back in last December, before the pandemic, Gente de Zona were going to sing at Bayfront Park. Pitbull had talked to them. They hadn't talked to the trust to get permission. We had the last say on all the different artists that would sing. In fact, we were the ones who recruited the vast majority of the artists that sung there. The last time that we had a New Year's shindig before the pandemic. And Gente de Zona ended up not singing at the time because through some of the trips that they have made to Cuba, they were bullied by the regime to have to let some of the relatives of the Castros go up on stage and with them and participate. It is refreshing to see that a group like this and others, because the song that you saw there were several groups that formed part of it. It is refreshing to see that they have taken the step of confronting that horrible dictatorship with courage and have come with a song like this. Therefore, as I stated in person to one of their closest friends, they can sing all they want in Miami. When we open up Friday's Little Havana again, they'll certainly be welcome to sing there, and in Bayfront Park also. We have an obligation in the city of Miami. The city that has stood out among all the cities of the United States in truly being the beacon for all of those that were looking and are looking for refuge from oppressed governments, oppressed narco dictatorships. And we have an obligation to not only, as we've done throughout the years, expose those regimes, but at the same time to welcome those individuals and help them so they can become productive while they're here, and that when their homelands are free, they could be productive citizens there and friends of the United States. So I'm very supportive of this resolution brought by my colleague, Commissioner Reyes, and they certainly are welcome to sing in any of our governmental facilities in Miami.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any further comments from the dais? All in favor of the item, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much.
Motion passes. We have now proclaimed March 6, 2021 as the Day of Patria y Vida. Congratulations. Thank you. We'll now break for proclamations.
Yes, okay.
I believe we have some protocol items. Is that correct? I think we'll do so down front so we don't crowd the dais. I believe today we're honoring the Citizen Advisory Board. So if the commissioners would join me down front.
Brooks Road.
Thank you very much. Would any members of the CAB please join me up here? Is there anyone here from the CAB? So the Community Advisory Board was formed in response to a Department of Justice consent decree under which the city was regulating its police. And this citizen board was put together to help monitor and work together with the Department of Justice and our official monitor, now Mayor in Tampa. We are very proud of them and the work that you all have done to bring the city of Miami and our police force from a very difficult time and through a very difficult last year. And I believe the city of Miami's response to the issues of last year are in great credit to the CAB, to the work that's been done over the years to reform the City of Miami Police Department and make it better and stronger. Nothing is better than citizen oversight. And I really do want to applaud this board. We have proclamations here that the mayor has organized, and I'll just read one very briefly. Thank you. Thank you very much. This first one, and to recognize Justin Pin, who I believe is the chair, the City of Miami Community Advisory Board, in recognition of the service and actions at the City of Miami Community Advisory Board, we recognize Justin Pin for his participation in providing feedback on policies and practices pertaining to the use of deadly force of the City of Miami Police Department. And to the independent reviewer, I am confident you will continue to excel and serve our community with distinction and contribute to the City of Miami. Francis Suarez, Mayor, March 11th, 2021. So we have a certificate for each of you, and I'd like to read your names. Justin Pin, and we'll hand them out as you can, please. Justin Pin, Agatha Caraballo, Barbara Ibarra, Jennifer Garcia, Maite Gonzalez, Andre Joyce, Andrew Kemp Gerstel, Camilo Mejia, Cecilia Stewart, Ian Ward, Rahel Wediesus, Evian White, Brandon Okpalobi, Gustavo Perez, Eddie Pereira, Brandon Alfred, Anthony Adorno, and Loreno Ramos. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you, Commissioner. Would anyone like to speak on behalf of the CAB? Let me make sure the microphone is clean. And if we get, before you you hand it to anyone, please have her clean it up.
Giving honor to God, I thank the Honorable Mayor Francis Suarez for this opportunity. I want to recognize my fellow Community Advisory Board members. I congratulate you all on your efforts to keep Miami a better and safe place to live. I give honor to the city commissioners on the dais. Thank you so much for recognizing us. Thank you for this opportunity. Mr. City Manager, I thank you as well. I thank everyone for their input in making this a glorious celebration. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of the board and its members, I do want to say thank you. I've enjoyed working with all of you over the past almost 5 years now. It's been a great experience. I think we accomplished a great deal of things. And I think I take back to what one of the previous chiefs said, that Miami is working towards being one of the safest places in the world to come visit and enjoy. And with that being said, I do think that there is still some work to be done, and that's going to take the efforts of all of us to do that. And I think it's important for us to engage our colleges, University of Miami, Florida International University, Florida Memorial College, to engage as citizens on being able to look at systemic racism that still exists and other causes that may lead to abuse. So again, thank you from all the board members, and I wish you all well.
Hello, and my name is Lorena Ramos, one of the community board members, the community advisory board members. I wanted to thank first our mayor, who recognized that we should be recognized for our volunteer work that we've been doing for many years now. It has been an honor to work with my colleagues, as well as with the police department, but especially with the community, who gave us their insight into how to better collaborate and enhance our City of Miami Police Department. So thank you so much for the City Commission for having us as well here.
I'll speak here. Let me begin by thanking and congratulating each of you here for the work that you have done. It's a job that sometimes is a thankless job, but a job that's very much needed. Oversight, not just of police, but of elected officials, of every department of a government is needed. It's what forms the fabric of a democracy. That you have other eyes, providing check and balances, making sure that all of us as human beings don't let the jobs go to our heads, don't keep making the same mistakes, or worse. I'm extremely proud, and I was going to give you all a test, but I figure I better not, that this panel was created with my support, my urging, when I was mayor some years back. And some of you might be surprised why and how it was created. So I'll ask that maybe you go a little bit into it and see why it was created. It might surprise you. But it was created back then because we knew that there was a need for it. There was a need to bridge the community with law enforcement to provide another perspective, different eyes from another point of view to policing and police incidents. I'm very happy and proud of the work that has been done, even though we might be in agreement at times. We might be in disagreement at times. It indeed has been a job that needs to be done. So I say to all of you, thank you, and keep working hard.
Amen.
Thank you very much. And just to close out, to really, put a bow on the level of police oversight that is available in this city, we have the CIP, which is the Citizen Investigative Panel, investigating specific complaints against police from a community perspective. We have the CRB, which Commissioner Carollo's referencing, that we've had for many, many years in building relations with the police after a very difficult time through the 80s. And the CAB, the Community Advisory Board, which was formed during this DOJ settlement. I remember when we voted, I believe I'm the only commissioner that's still here, from when we voted on the creation of this particular board. And one of the arguments was, well, we already have 2 other boards, why don't we let them do the job? And we all agreed to create a very specific board just to focus on the DOJ settlement that would sunset when we were released from under that consent decree. And we are now released from that with your good work and help. The work is not done. We can never say mission accomplished, but you have gotten us to where we are, and we really thank you, and the community does as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you all here.
Before we go to public comment, I'd like to take up the order of the day. So if the commissioners could join me, I'm sure you'll want to follow along with the administration on which items we are continuing and deferring. Mr. Clerk, I believe we received a memo from Commissioner Watson, who is absent today, recovering from illness.
Yes, sir, that is correct, Chair.
And in that memo, he's requested some deferrals, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Could you list those, please?
Yes, sir. The items that I have been notified of are SR1, SR2, SR3, PZ2, PZ3, PZ4, RE5, and RE6.
Thank you very much. And for those following along at home, that is a request for deferral of all of the NRD2 items with regard to Wynwood Norte, all of the items with regard to gambling, including the shade meeting, and
Commissioner,
I believe that's it.
If I could include in that
Yes, sir.
one item that I would like for Commissioner Watson to be present, PH1. There's no rush in this item.
Agreed. So it's a request for deferral, and all of these items will defer to the next meeting, March 25th, please.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manager, what items would the administration like to see withdrawn, deferred, or continued?
Commissioner, I think you covered them all. Maybe we reread them one more time just to make sure.
Sure. We've got PH1. I'll go in the order of that they're on the plasma, on the agenda. PH1, RE5, RE6, SR1, which is fence requirements, SR2, SR3, PZ2, PZ3, and PZ4.
Okay, there are two additional items.
Yes.
AC1 to be withdrawn and PZ1 to be indefinitely deferred.
Which are those again?
AC1,
AC1, which is the attorney-client session, and PZ1, which is to be indefinitely deferred.
PZ1 is indefinite deferral. Now, the attorney-client session, the shade meeting, should we be withdrawing that, or can we simply defer that? Because we would need to renotice that from scratch if we wanted to have that at the next meeting.
So AC1, which is the Cuesta West Flagler matters, that will not be able to happen, so it's just being withdrawn totally.
When you say it won't be able to happen, the shade meeting won't be able to happen.
Correct, the case is still closed.
But could it be reopened between now and the next commission meeting?
I don't think we'll be able to reopen. I think we received an order saying it's not going to be opened.
Got it. I just wanted to keep options open in case there is an opportunity for the commission to meet in shade on this item.
Yeah,
I don't
it
want us to
doesn't.
not have it noted.
Right, it doesn't look like it's going to happen because the case remains closed.
Commissioner, you recognize.
If we're going to have a shade, I think that we should have Commissioner Watson.
We're not having it today, but the question is whether to withdraw it so it doesn't exist
Oh, okay,
anymore,
okay,
or
okay.
reset it for another meeting in case the opportunity arises.
That's not correct.
You know, I mean, there's a possibility there's a potential settlement to be had. I just want us to have the ability to meet in shade if that is legally
That's right.
available to us.
Right,
in time.
as of this moment, it's not available.
Okay, so it's a request to withdraw AC1.
Correct. And then, but I just wanted to clarify AC2, which is the client session on chalks, that is
Yes.
still on the
Yes.
agenda for today.
That's not set for any specific time at this point, is it?
No, after 2.
Does it have to be after 2?
That's when our court reporter is coming, because we normally do it later on in the day.
All right. I was working to be done by noon, but all right. So we won't time certain that, but it looks like we'll have a court reporter after lunch, so we'll potentially take up AC2 at that time.
Commissioner,
You reckon-
I have to leave exactly at noon, so I'm just letting it be.
Will you be back for the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be back in the afternoon, but I have to leave exactly at noon.
No worries. We will get some business done before then. Are there any other items to be withdrawn, deferred, or continued? Let me just mark these. It's already done. PH1 is also deferred till the 25th. All right.
PH1 is withdrawn?
It is deferred until March 25th,
Okay,
PH1,
Okay.
so that we have Commissioner Watson in a full dais to
That's right.
take it up. I believe that's it. All right, are there no further items? Everyone's clear? All in favor of the order of the day? say
I'm sorry, is
aye.
there a motion,
Is
Chair?
there a motion to accept the order of the
Motion.
day? Motion by Commissioner Reyes, seconded by the chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Motion passes. Thank you very much. We will move now to public comment. And we have some people on the phone. We have some people here. We'd appreciate if you can hold your public comments on any of the deferred items until we take up those items at the following meeting. If you're here and not able to come to one of the later meetings on March 25th, you're free to speak, of course. But it'll make more sense and be more timely if you save your public comments for that time. That being said, anyone who's here to speak to the commission, you have 2 minutes each. You can approach either one of the lecterns. We'll make sure they're fully cleaned between users. And I'll work with those who are here with us in person first, so they can leave and get out in the fresh air, and then I'll take up those who are on the phone waiting. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to the commission? Good morning. Please state your name, the item you'd like to speak on, and you got 2 minutes.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Manny Priegas, 4000 Malaga Avenue. I know you asked for no one to speak on items that have been deferred, but just really quick. The settlement agreement that was up today obviously has been deferred. We know that those were extraordinary circumstances because of what happened to Commissioner Watson and his illness. We're very happy that he's doing better. And we just implore this commission to please, 2 weeks from now, let's take this up once and for all and have it heard and voted accordingly. So I just wanted to put that for the record. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Is there anyone else here who'd like to address the City Commission on any of the items on today's agenda? Seeing none, I'll take up any phone calls if we have anyone on the line. Good morning, you're on with the City of Miami Commission. You have 2 minutes.
Good morning. This is Paola Garcia from an Edgewater resident in 501 Northeast 31st Street from Paraíso Bay Views. And I was calling in regards to the casino that I wanted to express that I oppose to the planning of the casino.
Yes?
Yes, that's yes.
Thank
I
you.
was just calling. Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. The item's been deferred till March 25th. Thank you for calling. Thanks for your comments.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good morning, you're on with the City of Miami Commission. You have 2 minutes. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Yes, hi, my name is Arnold Melgar. I am a current resident of Little Haiti, but a longtime stakeholder in Wynwood Norte. I'm calling to express my support for everything regarding Wynwood Norte, and honestly just talk about the importance of this community, what it stands for in the city, and the opportunity that we have now for the people to take back control and actually have a say-so in the growth of the community. So anything that has to do with Wynwood Norte, I 100% support it.
Thank you very much. The item's been deferred till March 25th. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Good morning, you're on with the City Commission.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi. My name is Josh Peterson. I live at 480 Northeast 31st Street. I was calling in regards to the casino development.
Yes, you have 2 minutes to speak.
Okay, great. Well, my primary comment is just that I'm highly opposed to the approval of this casino. My view is that it will add significant traffic congestion to an already highly congested area. As I understand, there's up to 4,000 patrons that will be allowed. I just cannot imagine how this area could function with that many new additional visitors. In addition to that, casinos, in my view, and I think from a historical basis, there's a large concern that would be associated with the crime and sort of other nefarious activity that goes along with that sort of business patronage. I think this city has done a terrific job of upgrading this area and bringing in a lot of luxury high-rises and raising the property values and therefore the revenue for the city. And I think this would be antithetical to all the work that's been done in this positive direction for the city over the last 10 years.
Thank you. The item has been deferred until March 25th, but we appreciate your call.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a good day. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning. You're on with the City Commission. You have 2 minutes to address.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Kessler. I live in the Grand Paraíso building in the Paraíso complex. That's 480 Northeast 31st Street, Miami, Florida 33137. And I'd like to comment to the commission that I'm against the Magic City Casino. Please vote against having a casino in the Edgewater neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Good morning. Good morning. You're on with the City Commission.
Yes, my name is Rainier Real, and I live in the 480 Northeast 31st Avenue, Unit 2606. This is the Edgewater district or Gran Paraíso district. And I am against the development of a casino right next door of my house or apartment.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. The item has been deferred until March 25th, but thank you for calling in.
Sure, okay.
Good morning. You're on with the City of Miami Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Shannon Allen. I'm the CEO of Grown, an organic certified fast food restaurant in South Miami. Happy Thursday.
Thank you.
I'm calling. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm calling today in support of FR2, the Reef Kitchens pilot program. My restaurant, Grown, partners currently with Reef in their app-based food operations, and it helps us to scale our brick-and-mortar restaurant concept and works very complementary with their dine-in experience. As you guys know, this has been a very difficult year for restaurants, with over 16 million restaurant workers in the U.S. that are out of work, and it has disproportionately hit minority and female-owned small businesses like my own. And the partnership that we have with Reef has allowed us to not only continue to scale the business in very challenging times financially, but also has given us hope that there is another opportunity for us to have a revenue stream that can allow us to keep our team members employed, which has been increasingly difficult when we've only been doing about 30 to 40% of our typical business out of a brick and mortar location. So I'm asking you to support FR2 and to thank you for your time and your consideration and for all the work that the Commission is doing to support small businesses and minority female-owned small businesses like mine, and to really take the time to consider what Reef provides for small business owners in the hospitality space, for the mom-and-pop Cuban coffee shop, or the taqueria, for the small vegan operation that doesn't have extended resources to get up and running, for expensive build-outs. This is a way for us to scale and to make our offerings available to more Miamians without this increased stress of access to capital in a very challenging time. So I just wanted to say thank you. My husband Ray and I and our family are very proud to own a small business in South Miami. We've been very fortunate to be in business, even in very difficult times, for almost 5 years. We're getting ready to reach our 5-year anniversary on March 25th, 2016. We're very proud of what we do, and we're very happy and grateful to be able to service Miamians, and we hope to continue to stay in business. And this partnership with Reef truly has been the thing that's sustained us over the course of a very difficult 12 to 16 months. So we are very grateful, and we are asking you to please support FR2 and to thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning. You're on with the City Commission.
Hola, hablo con el comisionado. Buenas tardes. Tú hablas con Patricio Valenzuela de Inversiones Santa Loreto.
Hola.
Dirección.
Momento, por favor, señor. Can we get
Bueno.
translation, please?
Sí, no problem.
Alguien va a traducir.
Ya.
Just a moment. Si puedes hablar despacio y puedes parar algunas veces para la traducción, ¿ok?
Perfecto.
Okay.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
Go ahead.
¿Eso?
Sí.
Ya. My name is Patricio Valenzuela. Soy propietario de Inversiones Santa Loreto LLC y estoy ubicado en 501 Northeast 31 Street, departamento 1006, Miami, en el edificio Paraíso Bayview.
Momento, por
Y
favor.
me quiero...
Hello, my name is Patricia Valenzuela. I'm the owner of address 501 Northeast 33rd Street, apartment 1006, Miami.
Okay.
Ya. Y me quiero oponer al casino en Biscayne Boulevard.
I'm sorry, sir. Señor, ¿puede repetir, por favor, lo que acaba de decir?
No queremos casino en Biscayne Boulevard.
We don't want casinos
In Biscayne Boulevard.
in Biscayne Boulevard.
¿Algo más?
No, esa es la razón de mi llamado.
Muchísimas
That's the
gracias.
reason for my call.
Muchas gracias a usted, ¿eh? Que esté muy bien.
Que tenga un buen día. Gracias.
Bueno,
Hello, you're on with the City Commission.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. My name is Terrell Fritz, resident at 111 East Flagler Street and Executive Director of the Flagler Business Improvement District. On behalf of the bid board, I would like to speak on FR2, the app-based reef kitchens. There is significant concern in the historic downtown Flagler district and CBD about the impact of these kitchens on brick-and-mortar restaurants at the very time they strive to recover from the COVID pandemic. However, in the spirit of first reading, we are anxious to hear Commissioners' thoughts on the issue. As you discussed, we would request you consider expanding the CBD exclusion area to prohibit kitchens in the areas under I-95 and properties between I-95 and the Miami River, south of Northwest 5th Street. Again, we want to thank you all for the hard work you're doing to keep us safe in these challenging times.
Thanks for your call. Hello, you're on with the City Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. Hope you're having a great day. My name is Rick Madan. I'm calling from Biscayne Beach Residences at 2900 Northeast 7th Avenue. I understand the vote for the casino proposal has been deferred to later this month, but if you would allow me about 30 seconds, I would still like to comment.
We'll give you a minute and 40 seconds.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. This is something that I am hoping when the vote does come up later this month that you will vote no. Edgewater is an area that is currently thriving community. As all of you know, 10 years ago, this was an area nobody even wanted to walk on the street. Do we want to take it back to that? Because that's what a casino brings. I mean, we're trying to understand whose quality of life will a casino help? No one. And the tax dollars that are being collected from these condominiums that are going up is going to more than offset, because as you know, property values drop when casinos come into town. When businesses like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods come into town, property values go up. If assessed values go up, tax revenue goes up. And that's what's happening in this neighborhood. Please, we implore you, there's 390 residents in our building, and if we took a poll, 0% would say, yes, please vote yes. So I implore you and I thank you to do the right thing. Have a great day and a wonderful meeting.
Thank you for your call. Hello, you're on with the City of Miami Commission.
Hi, this is Robin Ruiz at 480 Northeast 31st Street, Unit 1707 in Edgewater, Miami. I'm calling to oppose the Magic City Casino coming to our neighborhood. Traffic on Biscayne is already horrible with the 1,300 units that we have here and now the proposed buildings in the city as well that are going on in Edgewater. Along with that, we have crime, prostitution, all the other things that a casino brings to, that would bring to Edgewater, Miami. On behalf of everybody at Grand Paraiso, I know a lot of them are online right now trying to call in. This is something that we cannot have in our neighborhood, and we ask that all the commissioners vote no to this. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today.
Thanks for your call and your comments.
Thank you.
Good morning, you're on with the City Commission.
Hi, good morning. I would like to make a public comment, please.
Yes, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Eileen Cedio. I am a 20-year-plus resident of Alapata. My address is 2925 Northwest 24th Avenue, and I also reside in the city of Miami. I'm a small business owner and the president of the Neighbors of Melrose Park Neighborhood Association. I am calling in support of item FR Spot 2, the Reef Kitchens pilot program. As a mother of 2 young boys,
I love the healthy food options that this new pilot program opens up for us by having it delivered right to our home. Also, as a small business owner and a baking enthusiast, I am excited about what this new business model represents for our ability as small business owners to scale out and expand our footprint. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
And that is it for public comment. Is there anyone else here in the audience who would like to address the city commission on any of the remaining items on the agenda? Thank you. Seeing none, I will close public comment. Thank you everyone for your participation and advocacy. We'll move on to the regular agenda now. But before we do, I'd like to add one more pocket item. The administration would like to add PI2 with regard to emergency rental. Is it a discussion item or an action item? I believe it's a discussion item that the administration is seeking action on. Am I correct? Regarding the emergency rental program. All right, we'll take that up later. So I'd like to bring us to the CA agenda. Is there anyone who'd like to move the CA agenda, CAs 1 through 10?
I move it.
Moved by Commissioner Reyes, seconded by the chair. Is there any further discussion on the dais?
If you just give me 1 second, I always like to go through it when we have 10 items.
You got it.
This kajak, Mr. Chair,
You're
that's what you proposed about 3 years ago, right?
Which one?
The kayak and this CF4.
Oh, the launches.
The launches.
The launches at Legion Park.
remember.
Yes, this is in Commissioner Watson's district. But it's a reimbursement grant from FIND. And
Yes. Yes, sir.
if there's anything I'd like to mention is what a good partner the Florida Inland Navigation District is for us to be able to create water access and cover half the cost for us on multi-million-dollar projects. Our Commissioner Spencer Crowley, as the Commissioner of FIND, has really helped us apply for these grants and get projects done. But this is a different one than the one I had been dealing with in Virginia Key.
Yeah.
But this one is in Legion Park in Commissioner Watson's district.
All right, I'm ready to move.
Thank you. Are there any further comments on the CA agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Let's move to the RE agendas. RE3 is a 4/5, so it would need to be unanimous. The only remaining ones are RE1, 2, 3, and 4. Is there a motion on those items?
Which is the, okay, and RE3 is the, okay.
This one's actually
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fine. Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Carollo?
Yes.
Move it. Thank you.
Seconded by Commissioner Reyes. And I would just like to thank the Public Works Department for moving so fast on that Brickell Stormwater Pump Station, which is RE3. We had massive silt plumes out into the bay. They were covering the corals and the sand, the grasses, and we were fighting so hard against bad developers, yet one of our pump stations was causing a silt plume itself. So this expenditure of over $200,000 has already fixed that, those deep water injection wells. And so we won't have that problem anymore.
I have a procedural question.
Yes, sir.
RE3 requires a 4/5 vote.
Yes.
4 commissioners on the dais. What does that mean?
Unanimous.
Yeah, unanimous.
Must be
Everybody has to agree to it.
Yes,
So one
it's-
commissioner disagrees, it doesn't pass.
Correct.
Okay.
RE4, was that part of the?
Yes, that's the drive-in movie theater.
Okay, this is the drive-in movie theater. Okay, this is the one that we currently have?
Yes.
Right. Why is this coming back? I thought we took care of
So
it.
unfortunately, it's been applied for under a temporary event permit. And really what they should be looking for is a temporary use permit that would give them 3 years, because the temporary event permit is pretty short term, so we're having to extend it to allow them to go.
I think when we approved it the last time, and we did approve it, didn't we?
Yes.
Did we
Or it may have
approve
been deferred, it was deferred. I
No,
believe.
this has never been approved by the commission.
It's never been approved?
The extension,
No,
okay.
This is the movie theater, that's right?
Yes, the
That's right.
drive-in movie theater.
And may I say that I visited, and I used to work at the school board building, and that place, I mean that lot there, was a haven for a drug addict. I mean, it was like Needle Park in New York. And right now, what I saw it, eventually that is going to be developed. But for now, I think they're doing a great job because they got rid of all those old people. And there was no noise. Everything was very, and I strongly, let me tell you, I strongly support this.
They have done an excellent job in
Yes.
putting it together, getting all the permits, and I compliment them for that. However, Commissioner Diaz-Libertia mentioned something the last time of a concern that we're not going to let empty land in that district that the Omni CRA falls in to be used for minor things like this, while the developers that buy those lands are just land banking. So what I like to do is, I'm in favor of what they're doing, but what I mentioned the last time was that I'd be willing to vote for it until all the COVID emergencies are over. Then let it come back to us again, and we'll revisit and see what we need to do. That's the only condition that I like to place, or if we can make it to the end of the year, or until the COVID emergency is over, whichever comes first.
Commissioner Reyes.
DD8, and we watched the presentation, and we did a field trip, going over. So we have a resolution supporting it, and I understand your concern, Commissioner, but what I want to do, I mean, this is not a change of zoning, right? And it is just a permit that has to be they have to ask yearly. It's a yearly permit. They will have to, it's a permit of using this land for this purpose, but it's not a permanent, and I will never vote for a permanent, or a change of zoning. I am supporting is the concept that while this land is not being developed, because I don't know that it's not being developed, that it can be used, you see, as it is now, because what they're doing is they have cleaned that empty lot, and if that empty lot would have stayed there, because I'm a witness to it, that was a haven for drug addicts and all kind of derelicts that were there.
Well, look, the one thing we're in agreement is they've done an excellent job in cleaning up that lot.
That's like yearly. They come every year.
And they went through the whole process and getting permits.
That's right.
Which I applaud them for that. All that I'm saying is that let them come back once the pandemic is over so that we could revisit it every year.
Every year.
This gives them through the end of this year. Commissioner Diaz-Portillo, you recognize.
Well, I also visited the place a couple of days ago. And before that, I was in that office, as you were chair of the Omni CRA, it's a block away from the Omni CRA office. And I visited it. I would walk by there, go to the restaurant that was there, and there were homeless people sleeping around. People would hang out late at night. And so it was an empty lot that people would come in, and we just bad things were happening there. And they came in and they cleaned it up, and it does something productive. It does not bother the neighbors because it's all FM radio. It's a novel concept. It's an interesting concept, and it's good for that area, I think. For that particular area, it works. They invested a significant amount of dollars in cleaning it up and putting the projection screen and the projector and the screen and everything else. So I think that they need, from my point of view, and I agree with Commissioner Reyes, a year to make some return on their investment. And then I agree, we come back, because in the future, maybe we want to develop it and do something else there. So this commissioner always has oversight of what happens there. But for now, I think they have a 28-day permit, and I don't think that works for them. I think they need to have something that's longer and something that they can rely on. So a year, we come back in a year and we revisit it again, and we don't like it, we vote a different way.
And we put it January, December?
The way it's written currently gets them through the end of the year.
Okay, that's fine too. That's really.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. I just heard you say 3 years, and it kind of threw me.
No, 3 years. 3 years is too much.
Yeah.
No, it is. Every year it had to come until if the.
But let's make it a real year. Let's make it March of next year.
Well, they started already, so it is a real year.
Well, they started like a month ago.
Let's make it a real year next March.
Would I have a leap year here? I don't want to have a leap year.
No leap year. Let's make it until March of next year.
Until March is fair. I think it's fair.
And
Madam City
one
Attorney,
thing for
could
sure
this-
that is clarified is that while that land is not changing zoning, there is not a change in zoning. If it is not being used, it's not being developed, that as soon as somebody wants to develop that land, that will cease. But if it is not developed, well, let's keep it like it is, because it is keeping all those derelicts on all those drug addicts, that even if you fenced it, I remember when I was working around there, it was fenced almost every month.
And by the way, Commissioner and Chairman, there's Friday, they're gonna play Goodfellas. Goodfellas. Friday. I think it's at 10 o'clock, right, 9:30. So you're all invited to come.
And one thing that really impressed me was the amount of families with children.
Yes.
The amount of families with children that they were enjoying this. It was something that was really amazing and very impressive. Okay.
So, Madam, just a moment, please, Commissioners, just a minute. And I bet you're a fan of Ray Liotta, because if the movie of City of Miami Commission is made, I think Ray Liotta should play you.
I think so too. but I think Commissioner Carollo would enjoy Goodfellas.
Those kind of movies scare me.
But they also have Mask playing on Saturday night. I want to see Mask.
It's too violent for me. I don't watch those kind of movies.
The Mask is playing?
Yes.
Okay, so Jim Carrey can play me.
Jim Carrey can play you.
And Ray
Ray
Liotta.
Liotta can play me, but I'm a little bit taller than him.
Madam City Attorney, could we amend this legislation to allow them through till next March? Because I believe the current way it's written only allows them through to the end of the year.
That's fine.
It can be.
Yes, because remember, you're just granting the waiver.
Yes.
They still have to apply for permits.
Thank you. Does the mover and seconder agree with that amendment?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Now that you tell me that they're putting Goodfellas Friday.
I knew that would get you going. I knew that would get you going.
Well, it just hit me, There's a guy on Twitter that likes this. He don't like much more than that, but he likes this. And he's talked about it quite a bit, that he likes to go and he goes. And so, this guy thought he liked me because secretly he came to my office before COVID and he met with me in my office. He was all laughs and praises with me when he met with me. And gee, I don't know, maybe it's because of you guys that he's always attacking the mayor and the manager and others. And he's gotten kind of nasty with me in that little tweeter of his. It's a guy named Billy Cohen.
Corbin.
Cohen. No.
Another
His real
guy.
name is Billy Cohen.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he likes his last name, so he uses Corbin. You're right. So maybe if I go Friday, I'm sure he's going to be there, and we could get in the same car and bond again together. Yeah.
6 feet apart.
Yeah.
That should be a plan.
I'll bring the fish.
And I'll bring the wrapper.
Mr. Clerk,
The
Mr. Clerk,
newspaper.
you're recognized, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Just for the record, Mayor Suarez would like to co-sponsor this item. I'm sorry, RE4.
Yes, okay, that's fine, that's noted. And as the district commissioner, I'd like to say the most important thing I was concerned about with the drive-in movie in this area was how it would affect the local residents surrounding, because there are new towers on all sides of that lot. And I have to say, we have not gotten one complaint at our office, nor have we had one single complaint through code or police with regard to this, this drive-in theater. So I'm very happy with them from a quality of life perspective. So thank you very much. Are there any further comments on the RE agenda as moved and seconded with an amendment on RE4? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes on RE1, 2, 3, and 4 as amended. Thank you very
And
much.
5 and 6 are deferred.
Correct, and the SR agenda is deferred as well. If the city attorney could please read FR1 and FR2 into the record, please.
FR1, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 46, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Public Nuisance Definitions, to update the city code based upon recent amendment to section 893.138 Florida statutes containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending Chapter 31, Article 2 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Local Business Tax and Miscellaneous Business Regulations, Local Business Tax, BTR, more particularly by amending Section 31-51 titled Food Trucks Operating on Private Land to establish a pilot program for app-based meal production on private land containing a sunset provision, a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
FR2 is for how long of a period again?
It's a pilot program?
Yeah, for 1 year, right? Okay.
And make sure that these pilots that would start, they are only for 1 year because I propose an ordinance that pilots should be 1 year because there were pilots that have been in effect for 20 years when I first got elected.
Thank you.
Make it 1 year.
Commissioner Weil.
Mr. Clerk, and then, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I knock on the things.
Yeah, I apologize because I'm looking this way and I don't mean to ignore you. You had a comment?
I had a question on FR2. There was original language that was proposed that's been changed, I believe, and there were some changes that they wanted to.
I have some amendments here.
Okay, so we need to talk about the amendments, right?
Yeah, if we get a motion and a second.
I'll make the
I will-
motion. I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I second it.
So this is both FR1 and FR2.
But you need to do. He's raising his hand because he always goes like this when he goes crazy. Listen, yes, FR1 is
Clerk,
we voted on it now, but FR2 has to be amended first.
And they could both be voted upon at the same time, but just for the record, Mayor Suarez would like to co-sponsor FR2.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So FR1 and FR2 have been moved by Commissioner Diaz-Delbortia, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. So both the Planning Department and the company that would like to take advantage of the pilot program have asked for a couple amendments. So I'd like to offer these. The Planning Department has asked that these not abut T3. That's one. And then they asked that the 20-foot buffer from the property line be moved to 25 feet. So those are the requests of the Planning Department. The company Reef Kitchens would like to utilize this pilot program, and it's not an exclusive pilot program, but they've asked for a couple changes, that the word mobile operations be added to the definition section 3151 food trucks and mobile operations be added. And then everywhere they reference the mobile operation, call it food trucks and delivery food vehicles. So that in the definitions, mobile operations means the operation of food trucks, delivery food vehicles, and other retail service, meaning they'd like to be able to provide other things as well than just food. So other retail service, which was in the original draft.
Whoa. What do they want to provide? They're going to sell.
Could be groceries, could be sundries, could be liquor.
Okay, so it's going to become a mini Amazon.
Yes. So this is a concern, and I've expressed this concern that if this becomes a warehouse situation with delivery, and that would be something we need to really be keeping track of from a.
I'll tell you what my biggest concern is. The competition that this could give to a lot of our establishments that are brick and mortar that are paying huge rents. And, you know, if we're going to provide for people to have a big advantage, then it's going to end up hurting us tremendously.
So no to retail.
No retail.
No retail.
Okay, so strike that amendment, please.
No.
Look, I'm concerned enough with the food part of it, but with retail.
You're in favor. So I personally don't have an issue with it because it's a pilot. And if it gets out of hand, we can stop it.
I do have issues with retail, and this is only what they wanted only what was proposed to me was only the restaurants that are going to be they're going to cook those restaurants food and they are going to deliver it.
Yeah.
That's the way it was presented. Nobody talked to me about having a mini sedano there. You see, I mean, nobody said about that. And my vote in favor of this pilot program, it is, based on the geographic constraint that they have.
Yes,
They're not going to be in my district.
correct.
And neither they're going to be in the business district in downtown Miami.
So, correct, they're
I
only
mean,
going to
there
be...
is a map that they presented that they're going to say, all of this is out of it.
So they'll be in, just to clarify, they'll be in District 1, 2, and 5. They will not be in Districts 3, 4, or the CBD downtown.
Oh, let's see.
Now, when they first started was during the beginning of the pandemic. They were distributing things other than food, which was mostly groceries, but sundries and emergency supplies, anything that would help people get things quicker. So I think they are looking to expand that. I think your concept is not wrong about what they're intending to do. They're looking to be a local mobile hub for distribution of various things, food included, and we have to be very careful of that. They have, not they as a company, but this concept has had problems with traffic and things in other cities, but we're watching that. So I'm okay with it, but I need the will of this commission to be okay with it.
I think,
The pilot.
if I may, we already have that anyway. We have Uber Eats, we have DoorDash, we have Amazon, Prime and non-Prime. So we already have delivery of all kinds of goods to people's homes. And in a COVID world, that's the new Miami, that's happening. That's a new world that we're living in. So to me, I have no problem with allowing them to deliver whatever they want to deliver beyond food, because it's just an extra place that people can go to, or people can contact and get things sent to their home. There's no problem with that. It's not that we're not creating a new world. This world already exists.
Well, but
I'm not finished, please. Let me finish my
Let
thought.
Commissioner Diaz-Portilla finish, then Commissioner Reyes, then Commissioner Crowe.
So right now, I get on my phone, I can get anything delivered to my home from different entities. To allow another entity to do the same thing, to me, is not a problem, because it's just another entity doing the same thing that's already going on. We're not reinventing any wheel here. We're just allowing a different entity. Maybe you could do it more efficiently. Maybe you could do it at a better price, quicker, who knows? So what's wrong with that? So as we enter a new world where people are ordering everything online, they're not going out, it's a good option for people to have. So to create a new option, to me, doesn't kill me. I think it's good for our economy. I think it's good for our citizens. I think it gives them a choice to pick. Now, the commission, the 4 commissioners here today, don't agree on expanding it beyond food. I think it was probably a 2-2 vote here today. If I could do the math, I'm pretty good with math. 2-2 vote, then we won't expand it.
Okay.
But let me make it very clear on the record that we're not doing anything different that already exists. Because I can do whatever I want on this phone right now and get it from DoorDash, from Uber Eats, from anybody else, and get whatever I want delivered to my home. We're just giving this entity that wants to invest in our community to provide our citizens with an additional option to have a choice, to maybe better service beyond the food that they're doing, because what they're doing is very, very interesting. You get to have certain foods from different providers that we maybe want to have something from a particular provider that it's not in our areas delivered to our home. It's just a heck of a convenience. And that's the world we're living in. So I would support any expansion. I would support your amendment. If the will of the commission is not there, it's not there. But I do at least support the food distribution and the ability for them to operate for a year as a pilot program.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Reyes.
Okay. I disagree with you, Commissioner, respectfully disagree with you, because if you add groceries to it, you see, Commissioner Carollo is right, and that was always was my opposition to this. You're bringing, which is a food truck, you bring in a kitchen that it is going to compete with brick and mortar. Yes, sir, don't say no, because that's the way. Well, okay, you can ask, you can believe whatever you want. Okay. But my opinion is that I don't want, if I have, they want to serve food in an area. You see, we have restrictions to food trucks in order to protect the brick and mortars. You see, they're going to establish themselves, and they're going to serve food from any other restaurants that get in that agreement with them, that from other places they're going to be competing with those restaurants. That is fine, and okay, I agree with that. I agree, I will accept that concept. But when you add groceries, when you add additional things, I don't care if you can call now Uber, and you can send them to Publix, Sedano, or Mom and Pop store. But those people there, they've been established. Those are brick and mortar. Those people have paid their licenses. Those people have gone through thick and thin to have their little businesses. And then here comes this new business that is serving food, but now you can buy milk, you can buy whatever. You see, I don't think it's fair to the established businesses. And I totally oppose that. Enough that they're serving food and they have that, I mean, they're going to be able to start this pilot program, and we're going to see what it is. But I am not going to get that little store, the Papa Map store that has been in that area, and the little store that has been, I mean, having a lot of problem that another competitor, or might be a big store, Publix, or Sedanos, that's going to have another competitor that didn't spend a penny establishing themselves, and we are giving them all the ability. If that is the case, I can open up a store in the backyard of my house. You see? I mean, I will vote for it the way, without only cooked food. That's it.
Understood. Commissioner Correa?
Well, I'm glad you used those words because that's exactly what I was going to be suggesting, that it be limited only to cook food. And the difference that I don't agree with you, Commissioner Diaz-Portilla, that it's something that we have already, is for the following reason. Yes, we have Ubers, we have other food delivery outfits. In fact, you have other outfits that go and get groceries and they provide it to people. The difference is that in this place, they're asking to be using real estate in the city for that purpose. That they're putting that together there, where the Ubers, the other outfits don't have that, and that's the difference. They could certainly do that without having to come here and do an Uber type, Uber Eats, or some of these other outfits that go to the grocery stores and buy it for you and deliver it. But when you're using a piece of land, who knows what they're going to do there? You don't know how much traffic they're going to amass, what other trucks, containers they're going to be bringing in there. So that's a big difference from that aspect of it. The rest of it, we're in agreement. It's nothing new. So this is why I want to limit this to cooked food. And even with that, I have concerns, but I'll go along with it because it's not going to be in my district either.
Commissioner Reyes?
I have another concern. I have another concern that we have not, we have not defined yet. How far are they away from brick and mortars? Are we going to have that this distance requirement, or they can come next to a? Let me tell you something. Drive in Calle Ocho, and you're going to see all the restaurants that have closed. Little restaurants. Restaurants have suffered more than anybody else. Are we going to allow this kitchen to get a park next to a brick and mortar? If we are, because I don't agree with that either. We need to have a distance requirement. Distance requirement that should be, let's say, 500 feet or whatever.
Well, even 500 feet is such a minimal amount of space that if we're going to do this right, it should be at least 1,000 feet, where you have some real space between a brick and mortar restaurant and something like this. But that's my opinion.
So
I will vote for it, but in second reading, I want to see
a distance barrier.
A distance barrier.
A distance to a commercial
to
use
brick
or
and
another
mortar
restaurant.
restaurants. Brick and mortar restaurants.
Got it. Now, let me speak to the philosophy here, because I think everyone up here is trying to protect and encourage and build up, support our local businesses, right? And so what you have here with this new concept in this gig economy is the potential for the big boys to hurt the little guys. And obviously, we want to protect our brick and mortar restaurants. But the two calls that came in were from restaurants who are brick and mortar restaurants on the suburbs of town, which could be restaurants in any one of our districts, where they are actually helping them expand their footprint in other parts of the town. So that to me is a nice thing.
Without an investment, excuse me for interrupting, without a penny invested.
Of course.
I mean, that is, I mean, I can do it anytime. If I have a
But if I can
restaurant here
finish,
and somebody
Commissioner,
wants to distribute
I
my food in
understand that.
Sarasota, fine. I don't have anything invested in it.
No,
and
it's true.
And you're gonna be competing with the person that is in that area.
So, and I understand your point, but what it's doing is helping a mom and pop expand without further investment throughout the city. So we're helping Miami restaurants work throughout Miami in doing this. Now, where it could work against, in my mind, is if they're bringing in a national chain brand or their own brand, that could then start to hurt our local businesses. But, so, and this may be just a philosophical difference.
That's right.
I'm okay helping Sergio's expand to Brickell or Alapata or other parts.
Yeah.
Because I think that's great. It helps them grow, and they are a mining
Do
business.
you think that is fair? That is, if I have let's say a Cuban restaurant. I have a little Cuban restaurant on Brickell, Biscayne and 25th. And I am striving over there, and here comes this kitchen. And Sergio they're gonna serve Sergio's food over there.
Mm-hmm.
You see? People walk in and they're gonna get Sergio's food and all of that over there. While I am without spending Sergio spending a single penny. And don't you think that is gonna be competing with me?
Not in an unfair
Directly.
way, but we may
It will be
disagree.
competing
But-
with
but-
me.
but- 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 but-
Okay, hold on a second, sir. I haven't finished it. Okay.
Capitalism.
Okay. That it will be competing without spending a single penny and getting themselves established. That's what that is. He said he wants to extend, let them go through the process and establish themselves on Biscayne Boulevard. That's my opinion. And I think that I agree that the way it is, without any more, only cooked food, and with a certain restriction on distance, that it will be worked from the first reading and the second reading, I will vote for it. That's the only way.
Understood.
With all the constraints.
Thank you, Commissioner Isla Portillo.
I do have one other important
Yes,
question.
I'm still working on some amendments, so go ahead now.
Are they going to accept Bitcoins?
It depends on particular value that day, Commissioner.
Accept what?
Bitcoins.
Oh, Bitcoins. Well, that should be a most.
If you're ordering $50,000
That's
worth
right.
of hamburgers,
That's
maybe.
right. You pay with Bitcoins.
So, go ahead.
Just a very quick comment. I think we move it forward to second reading, and I agree with Commissioner Reyes to a certain extent. It is a little bit of an unfair advantage, but I also believe in capitalism, and I believe that, it's a new century, it's a new world. There are new systems in place. It's not all bricks and mortar. Bricks and mortar was a word, an expression that's been used for decades, for a century, but that's changing, right? So I think that Sergio's or somebody else can expand their footprint to other parts of the county, to Aventura and other parts. I think it's a good thing. I think that competition is good. And I think if businesses can't survive in a capitalist society, then you know what? They don't survive. This is the way it is, right? Yeah. So I think the expansion to our citizenry, to have the opportunity to have additional options and choices available to them, is a good thing. Food, we'll do food for now. Maybe a year from now, we'll come back and revisit it. Maybe the model works and we'll do something else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I think to move forward and try to end the meeting earlier, as you wanted to, not before lunch, that's never going to happen, but at least before dinner, that we kind of move it forward and we debate it, we talk about it with our attorney and everything else, and our manager, to get to a better version for second reading.
Thank you very much. I agree.
Mr. Chair, I am a capitalist myself. I am an economist. I believe that Adam Smith was right all the time. And let me tell you, but competition is good as long as it is fair competition. Correct. And this is not fair.
Well, this is the point that I was going to make. This is not capitalism. This is exceptionalism. We're making an exception within capitalism so that someone has to spend less money and will probably have advantages over others. And that's where I draw the line. Bitcoins or no Bitcoins?
Thank you, Commissioner. So we will
Chairman?
strike the amendment regarding retail, please.
Right, so I need to clarify because I didn't have these amendments per se. The change that you were going to do to the mobile definition.
Yes.
You're not doing that anymore, correct?
Yes.
It
Nope.
stays
We
as
are.
it's.
The only thing I'm changing from that requested amendment is the words "other retail." Out of the word "mobile operations" means the operation of food trucks, delivery food vehicles, and other retail. Strike that "and other retail."
And only cooked food. Cooked food.
So another amendment I'd like to add, under definitions, 3151H1, delivery food vehicle means the words pickup or delivery are in there. And that was not my intention. There should be nobody able to walk up to this facility, order their food, and then eat it in that parking lot. So the only pickup would be of the drivers who are taking it to wherever it's going, and I consider that delivery. So I'm striking the words pickup because these are not food trucks and they're not meant to be food trucks. I don't want trash laying around. I don't want people walking up and waiting in line. The whole idea of this concept is a delivery system. We're just helping them expand their delivery footprint so the food is hot by the time it gets to you if you're ordering from somewhere that's far away from that restaurant. Some other amendment requests. Want to make sure we respect the current moratorium. This is in requirements for Operation 2A. I want to make sure it respects the current moratorium in the city codes that relates to food trucks in District 3 and establishes a hereby moratorium of delivery food vessels in District 4. So really, this is going to be about this side of the dais accepting this. This side of the dais saying, not right now, thank you. We'll watch and see how it goes in your districts. So hopefully on second reading, we'll have a full dais on this side. We'll hear how Commissioner Watson feels about all these items.
And then you're going to add all the things that we took.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But that's where
and then you're going to get 3 votes.
It could be, but fortunately, it won't affect your districts if that's the case.
Commissioner Reyes, it's all about 3. It's all about 3.
But I don't know where Commissioner Watson will be on this. This retail concept, it was in the original version, it was taken out. The request was to put it back in. The will is 2-2 not to put that back in. I'm fine with that. But I do want to hear where Commissioner Watson is on this for his district, because it certainly has an effect. The other amendment, I believe that's it. They had a request to move the application review from 20 days to 10 days from the city administration, from the planning department. I'm okay with the amendment. I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
I'm sorry, the application?
So if someone makes an application to open one of these facilities, they have to go to the planning and zoning and work through this pilot program. The current legislation says they'll get 20 days to review it and approve or deny, and they're asking for 10 business days.
Well, to be blunt with you, I don't know of anything that gets done here in 10 days.
0.
Well, that's why I'm saying we can change it if they want. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Here we go. You know, Francois, why don't you come up here? You're the lobbyist for these people. Can you come up?
Who would you like to hear from?
Francois, he's the lobbyist. He spoke to most of you, I think.
he's
I don't
the
know
one
if he
that's carrying the
contacted
torch.
my office or not, but look, we want to work with your client, but you're asking for the moon. You're asking what nobody gets in the city of Miami.
That's right.
Please introduce yourself.
Francois Iaz with Converge.
Keep your mask on if you would.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
You got to keep your mask.
See if I can talk to this. Double mask. 2300 Biscayne Boulevard. Sorry about that. So on the 20-day to 10-day, Commissioner, that's okay. So that generally is it's done in other sections of permit processing. So it's just basically keeping the onus on moving it since it's a year pilot.
Well, so basically what you're asking that I'm seeing time and time again in this ordinance is what nobody else gets.
Yes.
No.
And this is not right.
The 10 days typical inside the processing of permits in the city currently right now, it's 10 business days is what it reads now in the city in most permit processing.
Madam City Attorney, what are the normal days that we have in all of our ordinance?
Right, so I am not aware of that, and I will defer to the manager and building and on the permits. I'm not aware of the 10 business day processing.
Mr. Manager,
Yes, sir.
do we have anybody that could address that?
We do.
Since I don't expect you to have the answer to it. It's a more technical question.
What other businesses get? How long do they have to wait?
Good morning. If you'd introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, Tamara Allen Frost, Assistant Director of Office of Zoning.
So is there a time frame on reviewing applications in the department?
There's supposed to be a 15-day turnaround to review applications.
And is that codified, or is that just the intent?
Policy.
Policy.
It's policy.
15 day.
15 days is what you have,
Yes.
okay? And how often does that happen, that you meet the 15 days?
We're, depending on the application type, we're currently at the process of about 80%, 80 to 90%, depending on the application type.
Okay, well, then it should be exactly what everybody else has. I don't want to give them more, I don't want to give them less. If it's 15 days, what she says, then it should be 15 days.
All right, so my requested amendment will be 15 days in item 3, section 3C. With the application review time, please alter 10 days to 20 days to 15 days. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, what I'm looking at is your standard.
It's fair.
Across the board. for everyone.
Great, it's fair.
Anything else that you want that's on the unusual?
Understandable.
No, but I'm saying, is there anything else?
Oh, no, I mean.
The ordinance that's on the unusual.
Say it now, or hold your peace.
No,
because
I hear
every
you.
time that you turn around, something is added. Come on, man.
No, the only thing, Commissioner, and I want to go back a little bit.
Excuse me, but you went, but when I've talked to you guys, and I mean, every time you come in, you never mention groceries or anything, and then out of the blue sky, you come up with that. Goddamn, man.
No, so the things that we had discussed with you on the mobility side that included were the farmers market concepts, the medical concepts that we were discussing, that didn't fall into food preparation. So that was something that the company was looking to do, and under that, it would be vaccines, it would be testing that could be done at the sites, that you could use the permitting process as a mobile unit to have on these sites as well.
You were going to sell masks too?
One at a time.
Excuse me?
You were going to sell masks too, or?
No, it's just the vaccine and the actual testing is what they had looked at. Farmers markets is what we had talked about with yourself. And then you thought that could possibly it. Temporary parks is also something that they had discussed for green spaces. Farmers markets at the site.
Let me tell you right off the bat, if you're asking for a farmer's market, and you're asking for food trucks to serve food to be delivered,
correct.
You don't meet the requirement of the law. Farmer's market is precisely what it means. It has to come from the Redlands, from Florida City. That's what farmer's market means. And on top of that, you need 5,000 square feet.
Correct.
Strictly for the farmer's market. So
you're correct. The code currently has all of that in place.
You can do it according to our code.
The code has it in place for that activity for 3 days a week. The idea was to bring it onto these parking facilities as well, if it could be done.
But not if you were doing the other services. You couldn't do both.
Okay.
Commissioner Reyes.
Listen, you keep expanding. I mean, we give you the finger, you want the hand. We give you the hand, you want the arm. And then, what do you want to do? You want to have a huge lot where you can sell everything? It's going to be a flea market that you want to establish there, that you get everything? I mean, come on.
The reason
you got this? Hey, quit what you're ahead.
The reason we asked for the pilot program, Commissioner, was to work with the city, and if this is where the city feels that we can work with you, we'll work with it. I don't think it's a question of taking more than what we need.
I want to call the question, and I want to move it to second reading, and we can have the debate later on, when the full commission.
The question's been called. We all good? All right.
I respect when someone calls a question.
I know.
See?
I did it in Tallahassee many years, Commissioner.
I'm glad that you're learning.
I think I taught you that.
I don't think so.
I never saw anybody call the question in the city of Miami until I got here.
I didn't complain that, I'm not.
All right, the question
I'm glad you're still learning, Commissioner. You always need to learn in life. That's important.
Good, thank you.
We'll move to a vote without the amendment of retail. The only amendments had to do with the definition and the moratorium area, the abutting T3, the 15 business day turnaround, and that's it.
I think you said the 25-foot buffer,
Yes, thank you. I
and
apologize.
then you said no pickup, which we may need to
Thank you.
fix because Uber is a pickup, so we may need to fix that between first and second.
All right, the intention is
Like,
Uber
no-
is okay, no walk-up.
No person, I guess.
Yeah, well.
No walk-up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry that I had asked you before, and I just want to clarify, what is the definition that you read about mobile operations?
So, mobile operations mean the operation of food trucks, delivery food vehicles, and then it was going to say, and other retail service, but strike that line.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify what that was, because the definition in what's in Acela is a little different.
What is it?
Mobile operations mean the operation of delivery food vehicles and fulfillment operations performed from a movable stand, cart, vehicle, truck, van, or trailer.
Yes, I just didn't read the whole thing. All
Okay,
that stays, but
I
you.
wanted to clarify, thank you.
Right, but to add the word food trucks. So the mobile operation means the operation of food trucks, delivery food vehicles, and fulfillment operations performed from a movable stand, cart, vehicle, truck, van, or trailer.
Right, the
You
thing is
wanna-
that food trucks have a definition in another part of the code. So adding
You want
food
to
trucks,
state that for this particular issue, our definition would be what was stated. Would that make it easier?
I just, if you're adding food trucks, I want to clarify, I thought you said this is not a food truck, so
Yeah,
food trucks
so
are defined
this is-
somewhere else. So I just wanted to clarify that, and we can work on it between first and second. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't more that you were adding to the definition that
No,
I
it's
didn't
it's
catch.
just for preparation and delivery. So if a food truck were there, it follows the same rules as everything else on site. They can prepare and Uber Eats can deliver, but it's not for people to
No, 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 no,
congregate.
wait.
Are we asking a minimum size lot that's empty for this, or is that any requirement that we're putting in?
That's right. Where can they establish themselves? Because what they're saying is that they're going to establish themselves in the parking
Gentlemen,
lots
the question's
that
been
they
called.
own.
We need to open up conversation again if you want to ask further questions. So the question's been called.
No. Now, the thing is that I'm just clarifying.
No, I
Clarifying what they told me.
questions for the city attorney and/or building or planning. If anyone can answer the commissioner's question, please.
I don't believe we have a minimum lot size on here, but I'm double checking.
Well, that came up because he mentioned that farmer's market.
Yes.
And with farmer's market, there was some minimum requirement of 5,000 square feet
Yes, because they have.
to actual of open space.
Right, but this shouldn't matter because there's no people walking around. It's just a container or trailer that's preparing food that then gets delivered.
Container.
Could
Whoa,
be.
whoa. Container. What kind of container?
It's a move.
Is the container going to have axles?
All right.
Wheels. That's right.
You can't put axles in containers, by the way.
Are we ready to vote on this item on first reading? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Only on first reading.
Only first reading.
Under-
So we include the changes that we discussed here.
Thank you very much. Motion passes.
Chair,
As
just for the
amended.
record, FR1 passed as is and FR2 passed as amended.
That is correct. Thank you very much.
Okay, what else?
All right, so we are moving right along. Am I not mistaken that we have concluded the business?
No,
of the
Mr.
day?
Chair.
What am I missing?
We do have a, if I may, we do have a pocket item on the rental assistance
Thank you very
program.
much. So there's a pocket item, there's also an attorney-client session that we would take right after lunch, and of course, the discussion items as well. So let's start with the pocket item from the administration regarding
The,
rental assistance.
if I may, Mr. Chair.
You're recognized.
Yeah, on the rental assistance pocket item, I have a number of issues that I want to bring up. We discussed yesterday during my briefing. You know, we had simultaneous briefings yesterday. You know that, Mr.
Yes, I
Chair? Yeah, okay, good.
What was that?
We had briefings at the same time.
It was weird.
Because the chairman wanted to go last, and I've always gone last, and it's kind of like, so we had this little debate yesterday as to who will get briefed last. Anyway, the rental assistance program that as was
Why do you
presented.
guys wanted to go last? Do you believe in that last shall be first, or
Of
what?
course, always. That way we know what's happening. But what's important is this. The rental assistance program as presented to me yesterday does not really match what the federal government, the expansiveness of the federal government's program. So we have some concerns, so maybe somewhat of an extended conversation about the rental assistance program. I don't know if you want to take it up now, before lunch.
Yeah, no, let's take it up after lunch.
I think so, that's what I think, because it's going to be a debate. I think everybody's going to have an opinion on this, and I think if we take it up now, it's going to drag way past lunch.
Got it. We have 30 minutes till lunch. We can take up the discussion items
But
instead.
I also would like to request that we could do like a little bit of a shorter lunch, right? We did like a 4-hour lunch. We're not in Spain, there's no siesta here. So maybe we do like a 2-hour lunch instead, and we can get home early.
Imagine that. Yes.
So I think we do it after lunch, and we just take a break now, maybe. a
Well,
suggestion,
we do have
come
4
back.
discussion items.
Or maybe do those now.
So if I believe they're Commissioner Carollo's items, aside from the legislative session update. So let's go ahead and, we're going to take up the pocket item 2 after lunch. That was the request from Commissioner Diaz-Albortia. And then,
Well, before we go into these items.
Yes.
I have to discuss with the manager where we're at with him. I'd like to bring up a pocket item that instead of me asking the administration to do it, which I can, I'd rather have a joint voice in this. And this has to do with the unfairness that we've been seeing from the county towards not just the city of Miami, but to all cities of Miami-Dade County. I think we all know that on the CARES money, the city of Miami was shortchanged well in excess of $70 million. It's a lot of money that we could have used for our residents. When we did finally get some money from them, it was at the tail end, so we had to rush like, nobody had to do to be able to spend it. At the same time, I've been getting a lot of questions from some of our residents that I think are very valid questions. And this is what I'd like to present a resolution to ask the administration to study for us and come back with an answer. And that is first of all, to find out how much taxes does the city of Miami pay Miami-Dade County as a whole? How many hundreds of millions of dollars do we pay in taxes to Miami-Dade County? 1. 2, out of those taxes that we paid, how many nonprofits do we have in the city, which I think that don't pay taxes, but we have to provide service for them? The reason that I want that is because as the flagship city of Miami-Dade County, the vast majority, maybe as many as 70% or more of those nonprofits are within the city of Miami. And for the most part, they take care of other parts of Miami-Dade County, and not as much in the city of Miami. But because we're the flagship city, where the downtown and the business areas are in our city boundaries, they open up shop in the city of Miami, and they don't pay taxes while they get our service. Secondly, I'd like in this resolution to ask the administration to look at and come back to us in a reasonable amount of time that we could discuss how long it should be, on the taxes that we pay Dade County as a whole. What service do we get for that? Now, in our police department, we do everything, including homicides. So I don't know how much police service they're giving us, if any. Our fire department, we have our own fire department. We even have our own water fire patrol. Again, I don't know what service they're giving us for fire or paramedics, if any. Solid waste. We have our own solid waste department. The only thing that I know that they give us that we have to pay addition to is in one of their plants, if we decide to bring our trash and garbage there, but we got to pay extra. So we're not getting anything there. I'd like for this commission to know what services are we receiving from Miami-Dade County for the taxes that our city pays, and what is the approximate price tag of what they're giving us. Because I'm beginning to think that a lot of our tax dollars are being used to keep taxes lower in the unincorporated areas of Miami-Dade County to the detriment of our own residents in Miami. We're supporting, through our taxes, lower taxes in unincorporated Miami-Dade County.
Commissioner, shall we call that PI3, or is that just a direction to the?
No, I'd
you'd like a vote on it?
I'd like to do that.
Yeah,
and
I
the
agree.
voice.
Okay.
I want to
So-
second that.
So we'll call it PI3. It's a resolution directing the city manager to come back with that information.
And I'll
right?
Yeah,
second
now,
that.
Mr. Manager, how much time do you think you would need so we could put a time date on this?
So we'll consider that, while he's getting that information for you, we'll consider a motion by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Diaz-Labortia. And while they're waiting for that information, I'll open it for public comment, if there's anyone here who'd like to comment on that publicly. None. Is there anyone on the phones? Closing public comment, and I'll just wait for Mr. Manager's,
Attention.
he's getting the answer from Mr. Casamayor.
We'll have something for you the next commission meeting.
That's the answer.
2 weeks.
That quickly you could do it?
Yes.
You're sure? You don't need more time? And I want you to do an accurate job and not be rushed.
We're gonna set the goal for next meeting, and we're gonna try to get there. So.
Okay, well,
The information you're asking for, we'll put a rush on it. So we're
Okay,
gonna shoot for next
let's
meeting.
say in the resolution that the manager will come back in either one of the April commission meetings or before, if he's ready with the information.
Fair enough.
Okay?
They're into 15 days. They can do anything in 2 weeks in this city.
look.
That's what they said.
If he could put it together, that's very good. But I don't want to rush him. This is
He's
too
ready before
important
that.
because
He'll be ready March 25th.
this is the kind of information that we have to establish if we need to take an additional step down the road.
Got it.
And I think you've all heard some of the things that I've talked about, and this has just been talking. But if these numbers show what it might show, then we have a lot in our side to ask for changes.
Yep.
Either through the county or through Tallahassee. After all, if the city of Miami, let's say, just for the sake of talking, by itself would be a county, we'd probably be the 7th, 8th largest county, just by ourselves in the state of Florida.
And if we unite, maybe hypothetically, with another city,
Well,
we may be even bigger.
that's right. I mean, the downtown of this whole county is in the city of Miami. The business sector of the whole county, Brickell Avenue, is in the city of Miami. Even the public hospital, Jackson's, in the city of Miami. The Port of Miami, well, it's in the city of Miami limits. The airport, the parts of it, main parts, are in the city of Miami. We're the real Miami. We are the real Miami. So, well, I know that. That might be a nice name for a county, huh? The real Miami County.
New marketing campaign.
That's a great slogan. That's a great slogan.
Yeah.
The real Miami.
Commissioner.
You're recognized.
Commissioner Carollo, can we, because I'm very interested in getting this, all this, the data that you are asking, all that information. Can we add that will be no later, because to give enough time.
No later.
No later than the first meeting
Of April.
in April.
Or before.
Or before, no
if
later.
he's ready.
No later.
So he's,
Because I want true numbers. I don't want them to be,
no, I want real numbers, real studies.
Yes.
I want to know if they're giving us any services in police, fire, solid waste, what they are. Because I'm sorry, I don't see it, nor do our residents see them. I want to know what we're getting in return from Miami-Dade County for the hundreds of millions of dollars that we're giving them from our residents. They cheated us out of over $70 million in COVID funds alone. I mean, we have some commissioners in the county that they don't cover 1 inch of unincorporated areas, only municipal governments.
Yep.
But they think they're been elected to be King Tut of the areas with their commissioners, and I don't know what they do. You know, they ride the bus back and forth, they, hang around, Ivory Towers in downtown Miami. I don't know what they do. I'd like to find out, what does a county commissioner that doesn't have a single inch of unincorporated areas in their district, what the heck do they do? And I really would like to know, but that's beyond what I've asked here. Why does Miami-Dade County have such a huge, out of proportion budget with thousands upon thousands of people making these huge salaries? Maybe if they didn't have all the monies for a city of Miami, they might have to come to reality.
Well, the question should be, what services are we receiving in exchange
Exactly.
for what we pay?
And what are those services that
That's
we
right.
are receiving?
What is
the cost for? For instance,
That's right.
I will tell you a service that, yes, I acknowledge that we're receiving. Libraries. But my God, how much are we paying for libraries then if we're not getting in many of the other services? But let's vote on this, and then I want to bring another item up that's more of a discussion, but maybe if you want to do it as a vote, we can.
Thank you. PI 3, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Commissioner, would you like to do anything with the current DI 2, 3, and 4 that are your items?
Mr. Manager, are we ready to bring these up now, or do you need until the next meeting?
We could bring some aspects of it up. I'd rather you and I sit one more time.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow during our
All
regular
right,
session.
then
and we
these
can-
will be deferred for the next meeting.
DI 2, 3, and 4 have been moved for deferral to March 25th. Is there a second? Moved by
Yes.
Commissioner Carrera, second by Commissioner Reyes. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
Let me bring something up. Commissioner, please don't go, 'cause
Just
you
the,
need to
just,
see this.
just the last item. Is there anything you need to discuss on the legislative session at this point?
Yeah, once again, I'd like to request if we could add Ruben Turnbull as the fourth firm at $50,000, same fee we're paying the other three.
I would welcome a motion for that. Moved by Commissioner Diaz-Labortia, seconded by the chair. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything
Chairman?
else, Mr. Manager?
Chairman, on the legislative
Oh, yeah,
priorities,
there's another item.
I wanted to request your help in lobbying against HB 1129 and the Senate bill, the accompanying Senate Bill 1678 that wants to increase the caps on sovereign immunity, and it could be devastating to all of our counties and cities in Florida, and I wanted to ask you to add that to the legislative priority of the city.
Is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Moved by Commissioner Diaz-Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Carrillo. Any further discussion?
Well, I want to add something else to the legislative priorities also.
We can do that all in, we'll capture it all in one
Yeah,
motion.
and one, I think it's Senate Bill 90, that they want to purge the absentee ballot list and have people, force people to ask again for an absentee ballot to be sent to their homes, even though they already requested it before that, for a 2-year period. So people request, normally it's a 2-year period where you get absentee ballots during the 2-year cycle that you have elections. This is a bill, Senate Bill 90, I believe is the number. I may have the number wrong because I don't remember right now. I think it's 90. That purges that list, and Miami-Dade County will lose about 100,000 people that are already on that permanent list. So I think it disenfranchises our seniors in particular that are already expecting to receive an absentee ballot this election cycle. And it sort of allows, it goes into effect July 1st. So everything that happens before then, there's a whole bunch of elections in Dade County before then, right? Coral Gables and others. And then those remain on the list, but then the elections that occur after July 1st, the November elections, Hialeah, Miami, and others, will be purged. So people would have to go and then request an absentee ballot. And that's sort of a difficult process, an additional legal impediment they're creating for our elderly voters in particular. So I'd like to make that a priority to defeat Senate Bill 90.
All right, we'll make that an amendment to the current motion on the floor. You're the mover. Does the seconder agree?
Yes.
100%. I do as well. Shall we call this PI4, Mr. Clerk?
I have it as a 5, which you.
Okay, four could be the
Yes,
last
the
one. Okay,
manager's
so
request.
PI5 would be legislative item amendments. So are there any other legislative initiatives that you'd like to?
No, I'm just want to ask, in the same line of, that Commissioner Diaz-Garcia is, and on the absentee ballots, and I think we should also be aware that our election department doesn't purge the records as they should. You see, and I have a good example of that. This past election, we received at home the absentee ballot of my mother-in-law, who's been dead for 6 years. Previous election, we
Was it
didn't
a
have
request form or the ballot?
No, the ballot. The ballot. We got the ballot. I turned it back. I wrote, this lady has been dead since the date that she was dead. Between this election and the other election, there have been elections, including mine. We never received any absentee ballots for her. But in this election, past November, we received her absentee ballot that was mailed to my house, or where she used to live. She used to live with us. And then later on, that I kept, I received a notification, a letter, asking my mother-in-law to verify her address, her mailing address. You see? And I want to know why, who put her back in the list, and something happened there. You see? So I don't know, Diaz de la Portilla, I don't know if we can include something, or to require that they really purge, or somebody to come on over see that, because obviously, if that had gone to any other place, it could have been used, or anybody else. If I wanted it, I could have used it. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I don't believe they should purge anything until those who have signed up fulfill their full term of when they expect to receive their absentee ballots. Because if someone has signed up for the 4-year period, I think is the max you can do, 2-year period,
2-year
the max you
period,
can do,
but they should
and
purge.
it's changed before that, they won't know to reapply.
Those people are deceased.
Some are. So I think
people
those
are deceased,
inaccuracies need to
get
be.
them out.
Right.
But they did until this election. That's what really pisses me off. Until this election, we didn't receive any absentee ballots until this past election.
So I think your issue is very specific with the supervisor elections, and I'd be interested to find out what happened and why that happened.
No, what happened, and if that is the only case, which I doubt.
Right.
Which I doubt. You see?
Yeah, but I'm not in favor of a total purge early. I think that the way the bill is currently going through the state legislature could actually disenfranchise our voters.
I agree with you, but they should be on top of those people. I mean, anybody that notified, we notified of her death, and would stop receiving absentee ballots
Thank
until
you.
last election.
Are there any more changes to our legislative priorities? None? I'll open for public comment on PI 5, which is our legislative priorities. No one here to comment publicly. I'll close public comment. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Chairman?
Mr. Clerk?
Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chair. I was just going to let you know that I only need less than 5 minutes for the boards. And is DI1 still on the agenda, or was that discussed?
DI1 is what we just got through, so that is finished. And then and Commissioner, you said you have to leave at noon sharp.
Yeah,
That's
so
12.
if I could bring this up after noon,
Sure.
it's
All right.
going to take a little longer.
Got it. So what I'd like to do is do the boards and commissions. We'll break for lunch. I'd like us to come back at least at 2:30. I can't come back
2:30.
before then.
2:30.
2:30? That'll compromise? All right.
That gives you enough time for a nap.
Well,
Well,
Yeah,
2.5 hours is better than 4 hours.
The mayor has a press conference at 1. That won't be done till after 1:30.
Yeah.
We don't have,
Chairman and Commissioners, I was going to offer, but I know that you have to, I was going to offer that I could reset the shade meeting if you like for
if it's not time sensitive,
March
Earlier.
25th. I would move it. I have to read the script to move it.
that's
but-
the Chalks
Chalks.
attorney-client session. That'd be great. And then, but we still have the executive session to do. You'd like to do that today, Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we'll do that right when we come back from lunch. We'll go straight to executive session. And then we'll meet back here for the only remaining discussion item. Sounds like a pocket discussion, Commissioner? Yes. All right. Do you want to put a title on it or anything?
Street closures.
PI 6 street closures. And that'll be the only remaining item on the agenda if we can just get through boards and committees before lunch.
And I just need 4 commissioners while we do this.
All right. And do we need, Madam City Attorney, do we need a vote on moving the Chalks shade meeting?
No, because you'd need to vote to not hear it today, but then I have to do the request after.
So is that a motion to withdraw or defer?
It's a motion to withdraw, and then I'm going to request it
All
again.
right, so moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by the chair to withdraw AC 2. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
We have some waivers, I think, maybe the clerk wants to do also.
And if I could read the 2 scripts before you go as well?
Let's let the boards and committees go, then you can read the scripts. We only need, you said you need all 4 of us? For the
Yes, sir.
boards?
Here we-
All right, boards and committees.
Thank you, Chair. VC1, Commissioner Croyle will be appointing Luis Mata.
Is there a motion? Moved by the chair, moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by the chair. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
VC5 is an employment waiver for Mercedes Rodriguez.
Is there a motion? Moved by Commissioner Diaz-Labortia, seconded by the chair. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
VC6, Mayor Suarez will be appointing Merdochi LaFrance.
Is there a motion? Moved by Commissioner Diaz-Labortia, seconded by Commissioner Carollo. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
VC10, the city manager will be appointing Kathia Darling.
Moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. All in favor say aye. Motion passes.
VC18, Commissioner Watson will be appointing N. Patrick Range.
Moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. All in favor say aye. Motion passes.
VC20, Commissioner Diaz de la Portilla will be appointing Cesar Fernandez in the category Technology Businesses. Commissioner Carroll will be appointing Daniel Stabile in the category Economics. Mayor Suarez will be appointing Leanne Buchanan in the category Community Development, and Mayor Suarez will also be appointing Dr. Lashinda Moore in the category Educational Structures, Opportunities Related to Technologies.
Moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Diaz-Labortia. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
VC23, Mayor Suarez will be appointing Reverend Gaston E. Smooth.
Moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. All in favor say aye.
VC24, Mayor Suarez will be appointing Lamel McMorris.
Moved by Commissioner Carollo, seconded by Commissioner Reyes. All in favor say aye.
That concludes the boards and committees. Thank you, Chair.
That is the entire day's agenda done before lunch, gentlemen. We are only meeting back for the executive session as well as Commissioner Carollo's pocket item.
Can
Madam
I
City
just
Attorney, you can
read
read
the
the
two
shade.
And the rental assistance program.
And what? I'm sorry?
Rental assistance, don't forget about that one.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
and the rental assistance pocket item, PI 1.
Commissioner Carollo, I only need 3, so don't worry. And the things that I'm reading. I'm reading 2 things. One, and 2 announcements that I have to do pursuant to Florida statute. One has to do with a Brownsfield item that's coming up on 3/25 and 4/8. Pursuant to Florida statute 376.80, which requires an announcement to be made at a commission meeting preceding the meeting where the city commission may or may not designate or will consider the designation of a Brownsfield, I'm announcing that at the March 25th, 2021 and April 8th, 2021 City Commission meetings, the City Commission may or will consider a resolution designating the properties located at 145, 155, 165, and 191 Southwest 12th Street and 1105, 1115, 1131, and 1133 Southwest 2nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, as possible brownfield sites within the city of Miami for the purposes of environmental rehabilitation pursuant to Florida Statute 376.80. Then, under the parameters, this is the attorney-client session request. Under the parameters of Section 286.0118 Florida statutes, a private attorney-client session, I'm requesting that for March 25th, the meeting of March 25th. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk? It's the 25th?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. For the Miami City Commission meeting on that date, and to discuss the commencement of attorney-client sessions for purposes of discussing the pending litigation in the matters of Chox Airlines, Inc. versus City of Miami, case number 17-023207 CA01, and Chox Airline, Inc., Nautilus Enterprises, LLC versus Miami Sports Exhibition and the City of Miami, case number 18-030887 CA01, both pending in the 11th Judicial Circuit and in Fort Miami-Dade County, to which the city is presently a party. The subject of the meeting will be confined to settlement negotiations or strategy sessions related to litigation expenditures. The meeting will begin at approximately 10 a.m. or soon thereafter as the commission schedule permits and conclude approximately 1 hour later. It will be attended by members of the City Commission, which includes Vice Chairman Ken Russell, Commissioners Alex Diaz de la Portilla, Joe Carollo, Manolo Reyes, and Jeffrey Watson, City Manager Art Noriega, myself, the City Attorney Victoria Mendez, Deputy City Attorneys John Greco and Barnaby Min, Senior Assistant City Attorneys Christopher Green, George Wysong, and Carrie McNulty. A certified court reporter will be present to ensure that the session is fully transcribed, and the transcript will be made public upon conclusion of the above-cited ongoing litigation. At the conclusion of the attorney-client session, the regular commission meeting will be reopened, and the person presiding the meeting will announce the termination of the client session. Thank you.
There's no motion. It's good. She just needed to read it. Gentlemen, we'll see you at 2:30. Have a good lunch. Thank you very much, everyone.